Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Eternal Quest Weekend Conversations and in association with the Ahmedabad Book Club. And let me tell you one thing today's episode is really special to my heart because I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to take this chance to give a tribute to my alma mater and my school, SN Consagra, and a very favorite teacher of mine, Miss Bijul Damani. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you,
Yes.
the Eternal Quest and the Ahmedabad Book Club. And thank you, Dviti.
Thank you, ma'am. So, basically, it's like for a student, it's always like an honor to, interview a teacher when I've been seeing you like while I was growing up. So, I am really happy over here to be with you sharing the screen. So, talking about Miss Bijul Damani, she's an educator working in SN Kansagra School, Rajkot, Gujarat, and she's the mastermind of social entrepreneurship project Galaxy Bazaar, which was started in 2005, and the project has raised more than 1 crore 50 lakhs in the last to provide equal educational opportunities to girls from underprivileged section of the community and inculcated values of ethical entrepreneurship in Ms. Bijul's business students. She has also started innovative product and marketing competition for students where they look around their own community, spot a problem, and come up with an innovative product to solve that problem. Students consider solving problems, and she has won 21 national and international awards from UNESCO SDG Teacher Ambassador 2017 to Forbes Good Smartin Award 2014. She's been a TEDx speaker twice, and Ms. Bijal Damani wants to make a change in the life of the students and those around her. Welcome again, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
I'm
Dviti.
so proud introducing you today.
It's a different experience even for me to kind of being interviewed by my student. It's a
Exactly, yes.
pleasure. Really, it's a pleasure.
So, at the very beginning of your career, if I'm not wrong, you were a market manager. But since last 20 years, you've been an educator. So, what
Right.
was that inspiration behind the change, and how did the journey begin?
Dviti, just like every other college going student, after finishing my MBA, my master's in business administration with marketing management, I joined a dot-com company as a marketing manager. And while working for that particular company as a marketing manager, I just realized that there is a vast gap between what we learn in the curriculum, in the degree, in the classrooms, and what the industry actually requires. There is a vast gap between the two. So keeping that in mind, I took this radical decision. You can call it an insane decision of leaving my corporate career and deciding to join as a teacher. I started my career as a computer teacher with SN Consagra School, like the Galaxy Education System, and amazingly enough, I was given the job of teaching right from grade 1 to grade 12. I was used to teach computers to grade 1 to grade 12. And believe me, it really helped me such a lot in becoming the teacher that I am today.
Okay, wonderful, ma'am. So, since 2005, Galaxy Bazaar has been progressing in every way. Could you share what was the idea behind the Galaxy Bazaar?
Oh, lovely. There is a very, very interesting story behind, how Galaxy
Yeah.
Bazaar came into existence. Um, this was year 2005, and, I was deployed as a commerce teacher for this famous batch 10F, right, in SN Kasagra
Yes.
school. And, I was not knowing much about this particular batch, but, what you can say, notorious is the right word to describe this particular batch. Just 28 young innocent looking children, but they are the ones who have been instrumental in doing many things within the school. And believe me, there was a lot of behavioral issues with these children. So right before I was deployed, I simply got to know that two teachers have already resigned, and that is because of this particular batch. Yeah, so
Yes.
you can understand that they were known for pulling the legs of the teachers and all kind of pranks and everything.
We Asians are particularly known for this.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
And when I was just deployed as their commerce teacher, I was like, initially I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? Am I going to be the third one? Two teachers have already gone. Will I be the
Yes.
third
Yes.
one who will give up? But then when I started working with these children, I simply realized that there is nothing wrong with these children. They are very, very intelligent. They are very curious about many things. But what puts them off, or what really makes them kind of having some kind of what you can say, the classroom behavioral issues, is that they are getting bored. I'm teaching them commerce, and I'm teaching them out of the book. Now this particular subject, it is just like teaching somebody how to swim from the textbook, right? It's a practical subject,
Yes.
and you are teaching them from the book, and you are taking the tests, and you are really making it so boring. So looking at, like, after having lot of discussion with them, one fine day I simply told them that, okay, let's have a deal. I will not teach you the chapters, but instead of that, we will simply set up this particular project before Diwali, and we will call it Galaxy Bazaar. Like, it was the first year, it was the Big Business Bank. We called it the Big Business Bank,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
believe me, the class came alive. Everybody was happy that, wow, we don't have to study all the commerce subjects. Now, instead of that, we'll be able to go out into the market. We'll be able to talk to the real people, real products, real profit, real losses, everything real. So that is something that brought about such a lot of excitement, amongst the students. And I said, bingo, now I know what works with these children, right?
Yeah.
And we simply thought of that, right before before Diwali, we will have this particular bazaar. It was a very small bazaar with, we used hardly 5 classrooms. These classrooms were converted into the bazaar with, using all the school furniture and stuff like that. But what I had seen at the end of this entire 3 days is that all the students who are not ready to budge in the classroom were the most actively learning. Yeah, and they
Yes.
were learning from the real people. They were actually learning, from the real circumstances. And it worked so well, in the sense, like, we had such a lot of fun. And believe me, whatever that I had to teach them in the classroom was all covered. Marketing was covered, human
Yes.
resources was covered, English as the language was covered, accountancy was covered, every single thing was covered. uh, at the end of 3 days, we simply had our accounting done, and we simply realized that we have made a profit of 8,000 rupees. Now the question is, when we started off, we had never decided that what will we be doing with the profits. So once again, I took that as a teaching opportunity, and I said, we have 8,000 rupees. Let's kind of discuss, what are different ways in which we can spend this 8,000 rupees. And this being teenagers, I started receiving all kinds of suggestions that we will go and have a pizza party, and we will go and have some nice frappe
Yes.
coffee or ice cream or this or
Yeah.
that. Then they started coming up with all the ideas of how we can have fun with this 8,000 rupees. um, During Galaxy Bazaar, whatever that we did, it was all in a democratic manner. So it is not that, what I say, that becomes the decision. We take the decision together after a lot of discussions, and whatever we think is logical, becomes the decision. So, and they had given all their choices, and I had just put my choice over there. I said, we have one public school right across our school. Now, with this 8,000 rupee, if we are buying some stationery, believe me, that would be good enough for the children for entire year. Yeah, it will be
Yes.
sufficient, for these children for entire year. And believe me, that was the turning point for these kids, because these children have never thought that, the money that they can blow within 1 hour, or by just guzzling couple of cup of coffees, or having lot couple of pizzas, can actually bring about a change in somebody's life, can support somebody's education. So those, at that particular point in time, it was a revelation. And believe me, with like unanimously we had decided that we are going to be donating this money to provide, some educational opportunity to the children. And something that we started in that particular year, we continued with that objective even after 14 Galaxy Bazaars. Be it 8,000 rupee, we donated, be it 30 lakh of rupee, we donated. Yeah, not partaking a single rupee out of it, but simply working for somebody. In fact, we found our purpose. We found our calling that, it's not only that we are going to have Galaxy Bazaar to teach students about ethical entrepreneurship, but now we have a purpose. We are earning money so that we can provide educational opportunities to the children who are not as fortunate as us. And that gave us the strength. And that is what separates Galaxy Bazaar from many other projects.
Yes, definitely. And I remember when the Galaxy Bazaar started, probably not in 2005, but later on, after 2, 3 years, I was noticing it. And the way you mentioned it started off with the classroom. So I remember from classrooms, it got shifted to the the courtyard, and then it was getting just huge. And so glad and so happy to hear this entire journey.
In
And the
fact,
one thing that
sorry. In fact, Dviti, you will be amazed that, after that particular year,
yes,
the 28 children who were kind of, on the verge of getting an LC,
yeah,
because of the behavioral
yes,
issues,
yes,
I could see the change in their, a massive change in their behavior. Like, out of 28 in 11th standard, nearly 15 to 16 of them were part of the council members. Yeah, so they were, the leaders. So
yes,
it
yes.
is not just, a project, but this is the project which is also helping them becoming the better human beings. And that is why after 2005, in 2006 we didn't have Galaxy Bazaar, because I thought that, it was just 1 year wonder, and we are done. Kids had a good time and we are done with
Yeah.
this. 2006, no Galaxy Bazaar was there. But in
Okay.
2007, when these children were in grade 12 again, yeah, Dviti, I think you can understand this, that, whenever there are board years, usually parents are simply saying, don't do anything, focus only on your exams and
Yes.
only on your academics. So in grade 12, 2007, I had parents coming to me and simply requesting me that, something that you had done in grade 10 had a marvelous effect on our children, and we want you to once again do it. So from 2007 onwards, we have simply, start. That is where, it was termed Galaxy Bazaar, and ever since 2007, we have not missed out a single year till last year. Like, unfortunately, last year,
Last is
because
not to be counted.
because of COVID, we couldn't do it. But
Yes.
we have been doing it, and more than anything, it has also inculcated a sense of, what you can say, the brotherhood amongst the students. Because, grade 11, you are the one who is kind of exploring everything. When you come to grade 12, you take on more responsibilities and lead the bazaar, and you simply try to help grade 11, your juniors, with all
Yes.
the mistakes that you have made. You are sharing it with them. So a lot of such interpersonal relationships have also been developed because of Galaxy Bazaar. So it's not just a bazaar, it's like a plethora of, so many
Yes.
things, skills happening, knowledge happening, relationships happening, everything.
And also, we can say that it was a sort of, it has been, it's not like we're going to have it in 2021. I'm looking forward to it. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so probably, we can say that it was sort of like, we have this pottery done wherein beautifully, the pot, during the pottery, the pot gets molded into a beautiful shape. So while all these experiences, all these hurdles, and the enjoyment also, and the learning process, it becomes so beautiful in molding one person, and especially at that sensitive time where they're in 11th grade and 12th grade. So that's really, really wonderful, ma'am.
And
And
Dviti, I will just, I would like to bring this to your notice that, through Galaxy Bazaar, we are also trying to make students think. Let's say I'll give you a very simple example. That is also, one of my objectives. Like, I'll give you very simple examples. Every year we have Galaxy Bazaar before Diwali. And now, whenever it is before Diwali, one of the most profitable product that you can sell is firecrackers. You know that,
Yes.
with this age
Yeah.
group, every firecrackers will be, absolute hit, and you will be able to run into a lot of profits. But once again, we sit together as the team and we try to think about it, that is this particular product helping the community? And that is where students learn that firecrackers, even though we will get more profits, it is not adding positively to the environment. Lots of air pollution. Not only that, there is child labor, so far as making of firecrackers are concerned. So they go deeper into the making of the product, the effect of the product, and then they simply take a decision whether they want to sell that product or not. Now, this is something, if all the business houses start doing this, where they are not lured purely by profits, but they are considering all the stakeholders and the positive impact of the business, believe me, world will be a better place, if something like that happens.
Yes, it will. We can at least hope and pray for that it happens very soon. So, I've heard about Galaxy Bazaar. Every year, there's a special name given to Galaxy Bazaar, and one year, I remember it was Galaxy Bazaar United. So, could you let me know, or could you let us know what were the names and what was the idea behind it particularly?
All right. See, initially, what we are used to do is that, to give a different identity to each Galaxy Bazaar, so that every batch will have that kind of connect, that I was
Yes,
part of, this particular Galaxy
yes,
Bazaar,
yes,
So right
true.
from Carnival to, Galaxy Bazaar, like, you won't believe there are out of 14 years, we had different names for Galaxy Bazaar for nearly 10 years. And
Wow.
after that, we started calling it only Galaxy Bazaar, followed by the year. We started building the brand, like, a common brand which is known into the market. Only the year changes. So every year, initially what was happening was that, once again, students will be the ones who will be suggesting the name, that we will have nearly 150 names, given by students, and out of that, we simply pick and choose which is the most popular one. After that, the students are the ones who will be creating a logo with that particular, what you can say, initials. Yeah. So, once again, we will receive, nearly 60, 70 designs. And then, so there is lot of, what you can say, ownership. It's not something that, you hire a graphic designer, you name it this, and you hire a graphic designer, make a logo, nothing like that. It is your event. You create the logo, you create the advertisements, the posters, everything is run by students, done by students, and executed by students.
Lovely. Hello, Sujata ma'am. It's so lovely to see your comment, ma'am. I hope you're doing good. And thank you, Rupali Tanna, for your comments also. So, we've talked about Galaxy Bazaar, and there's this hackathon which is also going on alongside Galaxy Bazaar. So, could
Right.
you let us know what is so special about hackathon?
All right. See, I started hackathon in the year 2008. But my objective for having the hackathon was little different from that of Galaxy Bazaar. See, being in this particular, like, as a teacher, I have simply realized that in our Indian education system, we are compartmentalizing the subjects. Like, the moment you take up science, you are now limited to, PCMB.
Yes.
The moment you take up commerce, you are limited to, let's say, economics and accounts and commerce and those kind of subjects. So we are compartmentalizing the subjects. But if you look at it, you want to become a good, successful entrepreneur, you need a bit of all the three streams. You need to understand the arts, you need to understand the sciences, you need to understand business or entrepreneurship as well. So unfortunately, there was nothing at the school system or at the education level that was happening to do that. wherein you're simply integrating the subjects and giving it to the students. So I simply started with this particular project called, we called it IPM, Innovative Product and Marketing Competition. So the
Yes.
name itself is very clear. Like, basically what students do is they look around their own community, look for a problem. Now, the thing is, when you are a teenager and when you come across a problem, what is your natural reaction? You start blaming. You start blaming
Yeah.
your school, you start blaming your parents, you start blaming your country, the government, everybody,
We
right?
can reach to the entire world. Yes.
So instead of that, because of this particular competition, you look around you kind of look around your own community and find problems, try to look at the problems. But now once you have the problems with you, you are going to solve that problem, not by just thinking about an innovative idea, but by creating an innovative product. Now there is a vast difference between just thinking that I will, it's just like I will do this, and actually doing it. Yeah. So when this task is given to the students, a lot of things starts happening. Integration of lot of subjects. Like a commerce student starts thinking about product engineering, he starts about design thinking, he starts thinking about many, like the pricing decisions, the customer psychology, legal, the laws regarding the products, everything. They start, so basically, through this we are trying to give the context. We are giving them a problem, and we are simply saying solve this problem, and in the process, whatever that you wish to, whatever that you come across, find your own answers. And
Yes.
believe me, students once again enjoy this process so much. The initial, this is like, when you tell students that come up with some innovative product, the initial stage is always, I will make a car which is flying, and I'll make a car which
Yeah.
runs on water, and I'll make a car which is like, turning into a satellite. And do you understand, very very huge innovations. Students think
Yeah.
that innovations meaning you have to do something like, technically engineered product. But then
Yes.
slowly and steadily, we simply talk to them and bring them to that particular point when they come up with real problems around them, and they come up with real solutions. And I'll give you a very simple example. One particular team a couple of years back, had come up with a product called Clapper Bulb. Now how they had come up with this particular idea. See, they had their grandparents, and they had
Mm.
seen their grandparents getting up frequently in the night. And what was
Yeah.
happening is that, where the bed was located and where the switchboard was, there was a distance. And
Yes.
you are constantly worrying about that they should not have a fall, because there is no
Yes.
light there, right? So
Yes.
that was a problem that they had identified. See, the same, the problem which is in your house, you are not going anywhere. It's your own house, your own people, they are facing a problem, and you have identified it. Of course it makes you, kind of more empathetic. You start looking at the problems, which you usually don't. And they had come up with this particular product called Clapper Bulb, wherein with one clap the bulb switches on, and with two claps switches off. So
Switches
now,
off. Wow.
so now
So
grandparents.
that's a 12th or a 10th grade student, and that's really wonderful. Yes.
Exactly, and these are common students, but they have gone out, talked to the engineers, they have found out, what technology will go into it. They have struggled, they have failed, they have done everything, but then they come up with this particular product. And not only the product, they also have to create a marketing plan to market this product. Now, see, any product, there are so many products which are good, but are they sellable? Are they,
Yeah.
will somebody in the market pay a price for it? And if yes, how will you market it? Very very important to understand that. So they have to create an entire marketing plan, wherein right from company name to designing a company or product logo, to the print media, like newspaper and magazine advertisement, to recording their own radio jingle. They'll write the lyrics, they find the music, sometimes they create the music,
Yes.
they record their own jingle. They also create television advertisement. So somebody becomes the director. There is a script. There are dialogues. So somebody becomes the
Yes.
director. Somebody becomes the light boy. Somebody stars into that particular advertisement.
Yeah.
They also create websites. They also create the social media pages. So lot of fun. And in the process, you are learning the technology. You are learning what to do, what not to do. You start looking at the media differently. Believe me, the moment they have to do it, they start looking at the newspaper, and they start that where this advertisement, the location of the advertisement, should I put it
Yes.
on the first page, last page, corner, middle, color, black and white, there are so
So
many things.
much. Yes.
Yes, and they learn such a lot. They have such a lot of fun, and then they present their entire product and their marketing plan in front of the panel of judges. So,
Mm-hmm.
believe me, you know that very well, that there are so many students who have this kind of communication fear. There is a stage fear.
They do have. Yes.
Yes, they avoid talking whenever any kind of opportunity is given. Now this takes care of that as well. Something as simple as that, when you are on the stage, how to stand. There are so many students who don't know what to do with their hands. Yeah, whether I have to have this. So there are so much of learning at every step and turn, that students get to know that if there are five of us and if we are presenting, we have 10 minutes. How can we impress the judges? And we tell them everything that
Yes.
we have done. And
True.
it is so much of fun. And hackathon is something that is so close to my heart. Just last year we started having the theme based hackathons. We had the theme of UN SDGs. I think something that is so important, but very few people are aware of. United Nations has come up with 17 sustainable development goals, which have to be fulfilled by 2030. If not, we will be in trouble. And we can see that climate change is one of the goals.
Yes.
Climate is one of the goals that they have. So I introduced them to UN SDGs, and all their innovations were kind of streamed towards solving the problems of this 17 UN SDGs. So it is lot of fun, lot of learning, and we have fun
Definitely.
together.
Definitely, it's learning and fun together. And I'm gonna say this from the behalf of all these students since all these years. I'm gonna take this opportunity and say that this Galaxy Bazaar and Hackathon is definitely grooming them up for the times that they're gonna step out in the world, when they're gonna complete their schooling, when they're gonna complete their college, and after college when they're going out in the world. I'm sure that not even one student would have faced any difficulties in leading the life that they have to after completing the college, because the Galaxy Bazaar and Hackathon gives entire it's a complete package which gives you an entire idea of how is it going to be when you step outside in the world. So it's definitely a wonderful thing, ma'am, and I'm going to thank you from behalf of all these students. I'm going to take this opportunity in thanking you for bringing Galaxy Bazaar and Hackathon to TGS. Yes.
See, Dviti, I must say that there are so many students who turn entrepreneurs after finishing
Yes.
their degrees and everything. And that is when they come back to me and simply saying that, ma'am, starting my business was piece of cake, because we had already done when we were in the school. Now all we have to
Exactly.
do is just replicate that experience, and whatever that we had learned is something that we have to now put it into practice.
Into practice. Exactly. Yes.
And
Definitely.
believe me, it is our school, which has given us this particular platform, because there is a lot of flexibility that needs to be given. You cannot do Galaxy Bazaar or IPM with the rigid timetables. You
Definitely.
are getting into the time of many teachers, like, you are taking away that, sir, please don't teach economics today. I need the students,
Yeah, yeah, they have this to attend. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
And while talking about school and teachers, I'm going to talk about Kiran sir being so wonderful and supportive of everything that the students and the teachers wants to do. So thank you so much, Kiran sir. I'm going to take this opportunity again in thanking you. So yes, and hi Vandit, hi Dhanraj, and hi Rupali. Thank you so much for joining us today. So moving forward, when we were having this discussion, you mentioned something about when students in the 12th grade are asked about what do you want to become when you get out of your school or when you complete your college, and
Right.
usually they answer like, I want to become an engineer or a doctor or sort of like all the basic and the normal answers that every student might give. But
Right.
there was this, the gap where no one answered, or no one usually answers. Even I remember that no one answered in my batch or from my class that I want to become a teacher. So, what will be your message to the 12th grade or to the 10th grade or all these students out there who can pursue this, as a profession?
See, Dviti, if you look at it, this is very unfortunate, and this is not something that is, related to our city or our country. This is a global problem where there is an acute shortage of good teachers. Acute shortage of teachers, and at the same time, the ones who are in the teaching profession are kind of, being burnt out, and they are stepping out. Taking up other professions, and taking up other opportunities, and at the same time the younger generation, nobody aspires to become a teacher. That is the sad part of today. Everybody wants good teachers, but nobody wants to become a good teacher himself or herself, right? So basically, problem like this is occurring for the simple reason that, see, people may think, people may perceive that, job of teacher is so simple. You have just a textbook, just teach it, correct couple of papers, take couple of tests, and your job is done. People say, oh, you enjoy summer vacation, so lucky, we don't get it, in our corporate jobs. But that is not the case. That is definitely not the case. Teachers are actually working day and night, and believe me, their contribution is not measurable. See, if I'm a marketing manager, I can say that I have sold 1,000 units, but as a teacher, my impact will be seen probably 20 years down the road, when one of the students simply comes and says that, ma'am, you made the difference in my life, and I'm what I am today because of you. So, it is, there is a delayed gratification in this particular profession. Unfortunately, people don't want to become teachers because they do not see it as a profession. Just the way I see that I become a doctor, or I become an engineer, or I become, like, people will have, there is a social stigma as well, that, oh, you are a teacher. There is a master
Yeah.
kind of image, the moment you say
Yeah.
teacher. Yeah, so we have to change that. Being teachers, we have to be, become the professionals that we are, at par with other professions. That includes pay, that includes opportunities, that includes, the status. When we do that, Finland has done that. Finland has done where, the best of the minds first go to become a teacher. Over there they say that, unfortunately, I couldn't become a teacher, and that's why I became doctor or engineer.
Yeah.
That is the
So that's the
highest.
second profession that they choose. Yes.
So I think that kind of, what you can say, the mindset needs to be developed in our country, wherein, teachers are at par with other professionals in all the ways. And and that is true even for teachers, that, you will have to keep yourself updated, because if you're a professional, it is not something that, you are teaching the same curriculum 20 years. You have made one lesson plan and chalta hai, for next 20 years. If you're a professional, you have to explore yourself, you have to develop yourselves, become a role model, and then I think many students will be influenced positively to become teachers. I hope and I pray to God that this happens.
Definitely. And can we say that, generally these days, what I have been noticing is people usually tend to comment a lot on social media saying, things need to change in the society, things need to change in and around us.
Yeah.
So, probably what needs to change is actually, the upbringing and, the development of the child or for the teenage
Yeah.
while they are in school. And to do that, the only way is to become a teacher, become an educator, and bring about a change in the real world. And that's really the way we can help others also.
That reminds me of, my favorite quote by Mahatma Gandhi. Be the
Yes.
change you want to see in the world. Like, you
Yes,
want to do something. If you think something needs to change, start with you.
yes.
You make changes to that. and the world will follow.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely. Hello, Reena ma'am. It's so good to see such familiar names and faces today. I'm so overwhelmed. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So, talking about all the achievements and the awards, which I proudly mentioned, what was your feeling and what has been your journey? You've been awarded as many national and international awards, such as the Global Teacher Prize 2015, which is
Right.
probably the highest global recognition for any educator.
Right.
Another one is also Forbes Good Smart in 2014 and
Yeah.
to Outstanding Teacher Award, which in itself is a great achievement. So, would you share your experience in winning such great awards?
See, Dviti, whenever you are doing some good work, what you can say, awards or recognition is the byproduct of it. Automatically people will take note of what you are doing, and they will simply try to kind of uh, bring it to the platform where everybody will get to know about what you're doing. It's whatever that you're doing is not limited to the classroom anymore. Now there are so many people who would like to know what you are doing and replicate if possible. The good practices are always replicated around the world, and it should. So basically, awards, as I said, that I do not look at awards as any glory or anything like that. I just take awards because it opens up a lot of doors of opportunities for me. I get to travel a lot because of that. I have been to United States 6 times. Every time, for receiving an award, and I get to meet so many amazing educators. I get to know so many organizations which are doing a great job. So basically, it provides me the platform. So award per se, it's good, but now I know that if I want to talk to somebody in ACD, if I want to talk to somebody in ISTE, if I want to talk to somebody in Microsoft, Google, anywhere, I know that I have a family of educators. Like I have somebody who will be helping me out with my own professional development, and that is so exciting about awards.
Wow. And I've been really happy. I was always following you, and you're here, and you're there, and you're receiving every award. And I was like so proud and happy for that. And many congratulations for all the
Oh, thank you.
achievements.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And so, talking about, you've also delivered to TEDx speech, if I'm not wrong, and you've had many, seminars and conferences where either you've attended or either you've taken up. So, what has
Right.
been your experience during all these events?
Yeah, once again, as I mentioned, just like awards, it is actually giving you an opportunity to kind of step out of your comfort zone, share your best practices with the world, learn something from the other educators, make friends, make have a good network of educators who are just like you, who would like to learn, who would like to explore, who would like to do something exciting. So whenever you go for any conference, and of course, point number one is you get to share your classroom practice and share it with other teachers, and of
Yes.
course, you can attend the sessions and learn what is happening in the world, and keeping
Yes.
yourself updated. Like that is something that helps you step outside. What you can say, the four boundaries of your own classroom or your own school or your own city or your own country. That okay, fine, this is good, I'm doing it, but there are other people or other educators from other countries who are doing this, and if it is good, just talk to them and start with some project across. And uh, this is something that I also believe in, that we have to bring our students to become the global citizens. And that is where a lot of empathy comes in. When you have somebody from a different background or a different belief system or a different religion coming in. Unfortunately, in Rajkot we don't get that kind of diversity. But when you connect students globally, there is one particular program called Empatico. That is where we do it. We connect students, second, third year, second, third, fourth standard students get connected to nearly 15 to 20 countries around the world, and the learning
Right.
that has. We have our students, simply, let's say, doing some Russian dance. This is such a lot of fun, and such a lot of, and we will have Russian girls doing Garba there. So this is
Yeah.
learning, real time learning.
And now that you mentioned the thing about students, so even the students who've studied under you,
Right,
they've gone out and they've achieved so much. So, how
right.
has been your experience regarding when they look back at you, and when they look back at the school time, and when you get to know that, oh, this person is up to this thing. So, how is the experience over there?
I think I'm talking to one of them right now.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness,
and
that's
no, really, it is so interesting. I do have, couple of students who are now my colleagues. They have become teachers, and they are teaching along with me. And it's really amazing to see their processes, how they have grown and how they have decided to become teachers, and how wonderful they are right now, simply bringing about a difference in people's lives, students' lives. And there are many times, when students, let's say, after 5 or 6 years of graduation, they have achieved such a lot, like, they have become chartered accountants or big business people, or but when they come and touch your legs, in our school we do this, namaste, and pranam, what you can say, this, yeah, tradition. Really, you feel, really, you really feel good that whatever hard work, whatever that you have put in, it's worth it, that you
yes.
you have managed to kind of, give community some good people, and they're the one who will take it forward, from here.
Yes, and that is going to remain with them till their lifetime. And I know,
Absolutely.
being one student and being an SNK, that it remains with me every single step of my life. And I'm so grateful for that. Yes.
Absolutely.
So, apart from the educator and apart from all the business and student and school life, I know few things about you, which are, few passion of yours and few hobby of yours, which are completely different from your profession. So, what are those? And I'm gonna listen few lines from you. I'm not gonna leave those conversations without that.
Sure, you do. I'm sure that at least, one thing that you are
So you were
100%.
into martial arts, you were into karate, you were into tabla, guitar, and ghazal writing. So what more,
Right.
and who has been the journey regarding this?
Absolutely. See, these have been my passion. Like, of course, during my school and I mean, during my college time, I was into sports, and martial art was something that was so close to my heart. And let
Yes.
me, I think, tell the audience that Dviti's dad was used to be my guru. Yeah, he's the
Yes.
one who has taken me from white belt to black belt, in karate,
Yes.
and brown belt in judo. So that is something that I was really, really passionate about, for the simple reason that martial art is something that teaches you to be gentle. Martial art is not, something, it's not the strength of body, it's the strength of mind. And I really enjoyed, I evolved from nothing to, let's say, till my black belt journey of black belt. I really enjoyed every aspect, and even right now, of course, not exercising much, but that stays with you. Whatever that you have learned at that point in time, that discipline of mind, discipline of heart, that stays with you forever. So that is one thing. I was into sports, I was into traveling, like, trekking into Himalayas and exploring different, what you can say, destinations and cultures, and all that. And of course, I was into music.
Music.
uh, yes, so music is something that, it has always been close to my heart. So one is, as a listener, I was used to be uh, a very, very good listener so far as ghazals were concerned. That is the
Yes.
genre of music which was
And you
really.
do write puzzles of your own, and I'm not gonna leave you until I hear a few lines. And I'm
uh,
sure every student out there and every audience out there who are connected with us, they would definitely love to hear those lines from you.
See, the thing is, I have, like, during college days and all, I have written like nearly, let's say, 500, 600 ghazals.
Oh,
Usually, they are like, these ghazals are in Gujarati, right? And I think this facet of my personality, very few people know about, that I have been
True.
writing. Yes. So okay, let me kind of share at least one with you. Just a minute.
Any one of your, like anyone, if it's your favorite, at any time
Okay.
that you've read.
I see there is. I didn't get time to choose the favorite, but there is one which I simply I picked up the diary and here it is. So I think I'll share it with you.
Yeah.
Okay. કોઈ સંબંધ જોડે કે તોડે તેની મરજી, કોઈ કલમ રક્તમાં જબોડે એની મરજી, પ્રતિબિંબમાં ફરક કશો પડશે નહીં કદી, કોઈ લાખ આઈના ફોડે એની મરજી, કરીશું પ્રતીક્ષા જ્યાંથી પડ્યા વિખૂટા આપણે, કોઈ ગમે તેટલું દોડે તેની મરજી, ચાલ્યું જાય કોઈ કશા કારણ વગર ને કોઈ ટોળામાં સતત એને ખોડે એની મરજી, અભિવ્યક્તિ દુઃખની છે સૌની અલગ અલગ, કોઈ રડી લે છાનું ને કોઈ વડે ટોળે એની મરજી, માર હડસેલો આ અદબીડાયેલા છે બારણા, માર હડસેલો આ અદબીડાયેલા છે બારણા, છતાં તે દિવાલ તોડે તો તેની મરજી, બદલી નથી શકવાના એનાથી ચહેરાના નાક નક્ષ, બદલી નથી શકવાના એનાથી ચહેરાના નાક નક્ષ, વાળ ભલે એ જુદી રીતે ઓળે એની મરજી, ગાંધીને કોઈ મારે ગોળી, કોઈ ઈસુને વધ સ્તંભ ઉપર ખોડે એની મરજી.
Wow. I am actually speechless because I knew you, right? But I haven't heard this from you before. So, wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And can I say, can you plan to, publish it?
In fact, during my school days, my principal, Usha Ben Jani, who was inspirational, for kind of inspiring me to write. She wanted to publish, all my poems, but unfortunately, I don't know. I have kept it personal in the sense, I write just for my own pleasure, nothing else.
Okay, I'll hope, fingers crossed, that someday probably I might get to see, those lines getting published. So, okay.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yes, definitely fingers crossed.
I just want to, just bring up, mention one thing over here. As I said, Usha Ben Jani, my principal,
Yes.
I have studied in Sister Nivedita School in Rajkot. So she was the principal there. And believe me, see, this is the influence of a teacher. As a Gujarati teacher, believe me, she had never pressurized me to, pay attention to what she is teaching. She will kind of, let me look outside the window, and believe me, at the end of Gujarati class, I'll go to her with, let's say, a ghazal or a poem or a haiku. And, she'll simply say, this is fine. This is your learning. You don't have to study whatever I'm teaching. You create whatever that you wish to create. So I think the influence of the teacher goes a long, long way.
Yes, it does. It does. We're sharing the bond, so it does go a long way. Even after these years, it's so fresh in the memory, and it's just wonderful. So, what are the future plans? Like 2021, 2020 is gone, and we're just like keeping it aside. But 2021, Galaxy Bazaar Hackathon, and what else?
Basically, I would like to kind of, come up with an institution where we can start providing the entrepreneurship and innovation and research, what you can say, abilities to the students as young as, let's say, third grader or fourth grader or anything. I see Galaxy Bazaar being global, like, not just being limited to SN Kansagra or TG.
Yes, definitely.
For the simple reason that, if one teacher and her students can raise 1 crore 50 lakhs in 14 years and can help 5,200 girls, imagine what if, 100 schools are doing that. We will be, it will be the force multiplier. We will be able to help so many children go to the school, and we will have so many students with the ethical entrepreneurship training, given to them. So that is what I'm looking forward to, coming up with something, scaling whatever that I'm doing, and making it available to many schools, not only one school. And I'm sure, Kiran sir will be a kind of, will be open to that and will be helping me with that.
Definitely, Kiran sir. Are you hearing out? I hope you're listening to us currently, because yes, what Viju ma'am said is definitely, even every student will be wishing that this thing goes globally and everyone can be a part of it or contribute in whatever way they can, and see Galaxy Bazaar, TGS, and SNK going globally.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, okay. Thank you, Kajal Patel, Vikram, and Bela Kamani. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so we're gonna end this up, conclude this with one message that you want to give out to the students, to the audience of the Eternal Quest, and to all the educators out there.
See, there is, I think the message is very simple. As I said, I will once again quote Mahatma Gandhi: be the change that you want to see in the world. And no matter whatever that you are doing, take two things with you. One is passion, and second is compassion. Do it with passion. Give everything that you have. Find your ikigai, find the purpose of your life, and then dedicate all your energy, in the fulfillment of that particular mission of your life. And in that process, be compassionate. Don't be greedy. Money may come, money may go, but be compassionate. Make sure that you are taking care of all the stakeholders who are directly or indirectly connected with your projects or with your businesses or whatever that you're doing. I think that is it. If you have this too, half of the battle is won.
Yes, definitely. Lovely, ma'am. Lovely. Thank you. So one that says I will be the first one to take, but one that I'm here also. Like we see, two people are already in, and I'm sure that everyone is gonna be, really happy to join this entire process. So
Vanit
okay,
has been a part of the core committee of Galaxy Bazaar and has done a wonderful, wonderful job. Just
yes.
graduated 2 years back, and he's somebody who is so serious about
Mentioned that
this.
yes, he's mentioned that people search for ideas to start business, and IPM has many of them, and some are multi-million dollar ideas, and all credits goes to Vijay ma'am for initiating.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Vijay.
much.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up with a quick rapid fire round,
Okay.
and okay, so okay, your favorite batch, 20
Uh,
years to favorite batch.
okay. This is just like
Put
asking your mother, who is your favorite child?
Yes, I'm gonna put it in articles on. That's why I mentioned.
So every batch is unique. Every batch brings something very unique about them, and so there is nothing, no favorite batches. In fact, I love each and every student, each and every batch that I have taught.
Okay, the most notorious one,
The 10F. The 10F
10F.
takes credit for that in the year 2005, and they are the ones who inspired me to start with Galaxy Bazaar. So I'm actually thankful to them that
Yes.
actually they made me a better teacher. They actually made me understand what education should be. So thank you guys.
Okay, and the most studious one, like the most serious one.
Not a single one.
Not a single one. We as Indians are not known for the studious part.
And in fact, even if they come to 11th standard as the studious ones, I make sure that they don't remain
Yes,
one.
those remain that. Yes,
Because
definitely.
just bookish knowledge is not going to take you anywhere. So even if you are at the studious one, the bookworm, we are here to change you into somebody who is flamboyant, somebody who is outgoing.
Okay. So teaching or ghazals, writing ghazals.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a tough one. That's a
Yes.
tough one. That's a tough one.
I'm asking this question particularly because I want to see those ghazals getting published into a book. I'm going to mention it again. I'm going to push you for that.
Yeah, see, both are my passions, in the sense, like, teaching is something that, of course, as I said, it's my ikigai, where I have converted my passion into my profession. Whereas ghazal is something which is more, what you can say, something that I do as a hobby, something that I do as expression of myself, as I try to put my thoughts onto the put the pen and paper together and try to record them. That's it. So I really don't know. There is no one specific answer to that.
Okay. One message that you would want to give to the younger self of yours.
Believe in yourselves, work hard. Don't think there is a shortcut to success. Nobody, even Elon Musk or anybody that you look at, you're just looking at the what you can say, the end product. Believe me, everybody goes through that grind. Everybody goes through that hard work, failure, everything. So believe in yourself, work hard, honestly, and then just have the success that you deserve. No shortcuts, please.
Yes, no shortcuts. Okay. So, what is your favorite time of the school? Like the assembly or the break, the lunch break, or the short break or the mid break that we have?
Once again, a tough question, because assemblies are something that you love. Like you start your mornings.
I immensely miss the assemblies, to be very
Absolutely.
honest.
So right from Nitin sir's singing to all the
Oh my
musicians,
God!
this
Yes.
beautiful bhajans and everything. Nobody would like to miss that morning time, and that's the right way to start your day. But
Yes.
at the same time, the breaks are important, because you get the time to kind of unwind. Most of my breaks I would spend with Sujata ma'am, and we will be discussing so
Yes.
many things, what happened, how we kind of compare notes and guide each other, have fun, relax. So I think both are
Yeah.
important in its own way.
And especially during the assembly, hearing Kiran sir, in the morning, hearing his words and his speech is like it's a great start of the day.
Absolutely. And so even students coming and speaking in all three different languages, like believe me, you get to know so
Recitations
much.
and everything.
It's so much of fun.
Yes, definitely. Hello, Priyanka ma'am. Thank you so much for joining, ma'am. And hi, Ravi. Thank you for the comment. Okay, so we're gonna end this up with thank you so much. I'm actually running out of words to thank you for taking out such time from your schedule and just joining with us and being here and sharing the experience of your journey. And it will be great opportunity for me to translate your ghazals into English. See, every student wants to do that, ma'am. Dhanraj is saying the same. Yes, then fingers crossed. We're gonna push her, and we're gonna really be not nudging her with the thought that please publish the book. Yes,
No,
yes.
definitely.
Thank
Let's
you
see.
so much,
So we will
ma'am.
think about it. And thank you so much, Dviti, and thank you so much, the Eternal Quest and Ahmedabad Book Club, for giving me this opportunity and having me. Really, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiran sir. Thank you, SNK. Thank you, TGS, and thank you to all the wonderful people that joined us today. And thank you to all my teachers. And thank you, Beetle ma'am, for I'm gonna take this opportunity and this chance to thank every one of them who've been a part of this entire journey and the entire process of Beetle ma'am and me. And thank you so much. It means
Thank
a
you.
lot. Have
Thank
you
you.
to share the screen with my own teacher and educator? It's such an honor. Thank you so much.
We had a lot of fun, Dviti. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
In the school
Yes.
and even right now. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Yeah.
So, to
All
all
right.
the audience and the viewers, thank you for joining us today. And do let us know in the comment section below how did you find this video regarding Ms. Bijal Damani as an educator of the SN Kansagra School, Rajkot, Gujarat. And we're going to be back in another week with another guest. And thank you so much for showing all the love and support. We've been receiving immense love and support from you guys. Just keep doing that. And we're going to see you in the next week. Till then, take care and bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Thank you.